Djibouti, a small nation in the Horn of Africa, is one of those rare countries where geography, history, and culture converge in ways far greater than its size suggests. Situated at the southern entrance of the Red Sea, on the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, Djibouti occupies one of the most strategic maritime positions in the world. It is a land where deserts meet the sea, where Afar and Somali traditions coexist, and where ancient trade routes and modern geopolitics continue to intertwine. Though it covers less than 25,000 square kilometers, Djibouti's past and present tell a story that reaches across continents, centuries, and civilizations. Long before modern borders, Djibouti was home to nomadic peoples whose lives were shaped by the unforgiving desert and the bountiful sea. Archaeological finds show human presence here, stretching back tens of thousands of years. This was part of the fabled land of Punt, mentioned in ancient Egyptian records, a place of incense, gold, and exotic animals. Djibouti's coastlines became an early stop for traders moving between Arabia, India, and Africa. The arrival of Islam in the 7th century changed the region profoundly. Within decades of the Prophet Muhammad's mission in Arabia, Islam spread across the Red Sea, embraced by Somali and Afar peoples who made it central to their lives. The call to prayer, the building of mosques, and the adoption of Arabic as a sacred language connected Djibouti to a wider world. For centuries, Djibouti was contested ground between local sultanates, Ethiopian kingdoms, and Arabian merchants. The Afar and Somali clans, pastoralists who relied on camels, goats, and trade, developed rich traditions of poetry, storytelling, and music. Oral history flourished here, with verse and rhythm preserving genealogies, battles, and love stories. By the 15th and 16th centuries, Djibouti was under the influence of the Adal Sultanate, a Muslim state that clashed with Christian Ethiopia. Yet, despite external rulers, clan life and nomadic independence remained strong, giving Djibouti its enduring character of resilience. The colonial period changed Djibouti's destiny. In 1862, France signed treaties with Afar leaders, gaining a foothold in the Gulf of Tadjoura. By 1888, France had established French Somaliland, anchoring its East African presence. The French built Djibouti city, railroads, and ports, linking the colony to Ethiopia's highlands through the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway. The city soon became a melting pot. Afar herders, Somali traders, Yemeni merchants, Indian shopkeepers, French administrators, and Arab sailors mingled in its bustling markets and along its waterfront. Djibouti was small, but its port became Ethiopia's lifeline and France's strategic outpost on the Red Sea. Yet colonial rule also marginalized locals, restricted political freedoms, and favored certain groups over others, sowing seeds of division. World War II highlighted Djibouti's strategic role, and after the war, decolonization movements swept across Africa. France resisted letting go of Djibouti, holding controversial referendums in 1958 and 1967 that kept the colony under its control. But pressure mounted, and finally on June 27, 1977, Djibouti gained independence with Hassan Gouled Abdidan as its first president. Independence, however, brought its own challenges. Ethnic divisions between Isa Somalis and Afars shaped politics, and by the 1990s, civil war erupted between the government and Afar rebels. Peace agreements in the 2000s stabilized the country, but tensions remain a delicate part of its social fabric. What has allowed Djibouti to endure and prosper is its unique geography. Located at one of the busiest maritime choke points in the world, Djibouti has become a host for multiple foreign military bases. The United States, France, China, Japan, and Italy all operate bases here, paying rent that forms a major part of the nation's revenue. No other country of Djibouti's size hosts such a concentration of global military powers. This presence provides stability, income, and international visibility, but it also means Djibouti must carefully balance competing interests. At the same time, Djibouti has become a digital hub. Multiple undersea internet cables land here, linking Africa, Europe, and Asia. In this way, Djibouti is both a physical and digital crossroads. Languages reflect this layered identity. Somali and Afar remain dominant, each tied to cultural traditions of poetry, oral history, and community life. Arabic is widely spoken, both as a religious and trade language. French, the colonial legacy, is still the language of government and education. Multilingualism defines everyday life. A Djiboutian may pray in Arabic, argue politics in Somali, read the news in French, and sing traditional songs in Afar. This linguistic diversity highlights the country's role as a bridge between Africa and Arabia, tradition and modernity. Though not a mass tourism destination, Djibouti's attractions are breathtakingly unique. Lake Assal, 155 meters below sea level, is the lowest point in Africa and one of the saltiest lakes in the world. Its white salt plains shimmer under the sun, creating a surreal landscape framed by black volcanic mountains. Lake Abbey is even stranger. Steaming vents, limestone chimneys, and vast flocks of flamingos create a scene so alien it has been compared to another planet. The Gulf of Tadjoura offers crystal-clear waters for diving with whale sharks, dolphins, and vibrant corals. The Day Forest National Park, a green oasis in the Goda Mountains, protects rare species and cool woodlands in stark contrast to the desert below. The Grand Bara and Petit Bara deserts, with mirages stretching into the horizon, show the beauty and harshness of Djibouti's arid heart. Djibouti City, the capital, is a microcosm of the nation. Its port is the busiest in the region, serving landlocked Ethiopia. The city combines colonial-era architecture, mosques, modern high-rises, and bustling markets. Its central market is alive with spices, textiles, and khat, the stimulant leaf widely consumed in the region. Cafes serve French croissants alongside Somali stews and Yemeni bread, reflecting the cultural fusion of the country. At night, the Corniche comes alive with families strolling by the waterfront, while foreign sailors, aid workers, and soldiers mingle in restaurants and clubs. Cosmopolitan yet distinctly African and Arabian, Djibouti City embodies the country's dual identity. Religion binds Djibouti's people, with Islam shaping daily life. The call to prayer punctuates the rhythm of cities and villages alike, and religious festivals like Eid bring families and communities together. At the same time, traditional music, dance, and poetry remain central to social gatherings. Somali dances with drumming and chanting, Afar circle dances, and lyrical recitations keep oral traditions alive. These art forms link generations, ensuring that in a rapidly changing world, cultural roots remain intact. Surprising facts abound in Djibouti. It is one of the hottest countries in the world, with summer temperatures soaring above 45 degrees. Despite its arid landscape, it is home to some of the world's largest whale sharks, drawing adventurous divers. Its salt from Lake Assal has long been a commodity traded across the region. Though tiny, Djibouti is one of the most militarized countries on Earth due to foreign bases. It is also a digital hub, as undersea cables carrying a significant portion of global internet traffic pass through its territory. Camels still trek across the desert in caravans, even as container ships and fiber-optic cables connect Djibouti to global commerce. Modern politics in Djibouti have been dominated by Ismail Omar Guelleh, who succeeded Abdidan in 1999 and has remained president for more than 2 decades. His government has welcomed foreign investment, particularly from China, which has financed ports, railways, and free trade zones. Djibouti aspires to become the Singapore of Africa, a logistics hub connecting global markets. Yet concerns remain about political freedoms, debt, and inequality. Still, compared to many of its neighbors, Djibouti has maintained stability, a crucial asset in a volatile region. Education and healthcare continue to improve, with rising literacy rates and growing enrollment in schools. Universities and vocational centers are training a new generation, while healthcare programs supported by international partners are expanding services. Challenges remain: poverty, unemployment, and climate pressures, but the resilience of Djiboutians is evident in their ability to adapt and endure. Sports and community life bring joy amidst hardship. Football is popular, with children playing in dusty fields, dreaming of international success. Athletics, especially long-distance running, reflects the endurance born of life in a tough climate. Traditional games and dances remain integral to social life, while music, blending Somali, Afar, Arabic, and even French influences, continues to thrive. Djibouti's story is one of paradox and persistence. It is small yet globally significant, poor in natural resources yet rich in strategic value, arid and hot yet filled with unique beauty. It is a land where nomads recite ancient poetry by firelight, while drones and warships from superpowers patrol its skies and seas. It is a place where camels still march across salt flats, while undersea cables make it a digital crossroads of continents. To know Djibouti is to know a country that survives not by sheer size or wealth, but by its ability to endure, adapt, and remain indispensable to the wider world. To walk in Djibouti is to sense the echoes of history in the desert wind, to see the stars mirrored in the still waters of Lake Assal, to hear the call to prayer blending with the songs of nomads, and to feel the pulse of global commerce in its busy port. It is a nation that may not command attention often, but when it does, it reveals a depth of resilience, culture, and importance far beyond its borders. Djibouti remains a living story of survival and significance, a small nation at the world's crossroads that continues to matter in ways most cannot imagine.